Gucci and hey. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go on your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, no.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember meeting him when he was playing at Cal, and I remember walking away thinking, instead of having Rodgers stitched on the back of his jersey, it should just say confidence, because that's how he felt about his own abilities and his ability to elevate a team.
Rodgers now on first down. It's completed to Caldwell. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there. After last week's loss, you bet this offense probably wanted to come out with a little more fire than a 3-and-out.
And I'm sure that people are saying, hey, come on, Coach, what was the pregame talk? Have these guys ready to go? But you and I both know it goes into preparation and practice and being ready to go. That gives you the confidence to come out and play. They've got to find that fast. And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Well, look at the numbers for Coleman in last week's game. 15 carries, 57 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game.
Packer pressure, and down he goes.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack on 1st down, Wilson. That one complete to his receiver, Jennings. A gain there of 21 yards. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down, and down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Go. Staying open.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 26. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Here's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They'll find Metcalf. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Throwing again here, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They make a good bit of that yardage back as they're set up in much better shape now for 2nd and goal. We're scoreless after 1.
Whip. Watch the whip. Kill.
It's Coleman here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Line 36. Here we go.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He got 29 yards that time. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today, a guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
You got nothing. Alert, 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 alert.
Line 36. Line 36.
On 2nd and inches, Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 14.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Being chased out left. He'll try and run it. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
2nd and goal, and Penny standing by himself in the backfield. He'll get it up the middle, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There's no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
The officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. On second and 9, Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 45-yard line. Rodgers going to throw. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Would have put him in the lead, but hold that thought.
Yeah, the celebration had to stop, didn't it? Because now you're on a real uptick. You're in the lead. Instead, you're still behind. Have to find a way to regroup.
And he finds his tight end, Graham. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Rodgers again now. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Antoine Woods able to get him for a loss of about 3. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And got his man complete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Myers able to knock it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Wilson to throw. This is Jennings. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards to pick up there.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
On 1st down. It's Coleman, and this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
He'll buy some time right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Complete, he finds Bray. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 27-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
On the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And a completion to Wilson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll run on first down. It's Caldwell. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
On play action, now Rodgers gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
He's not going to get me.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Watch 36.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Now a leaping catch, he's got it. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Wilson. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Check 50. Check 50. 49.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a solid pickup, 8 yards, but work still to do now on 3rd and goal.
Double dog, that's the way.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Cameron Brate, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Rodgers now to throw. And Graham's got it. Complete. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from me a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On first down, Rodgers. And that's incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw again. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 37. Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Maxwell. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Rodgers to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll go with Jones. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it? To throw it underneath, a short pass like that. But boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Check. Four down.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Watch safety creep. Bang out.
They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On second down, here's Penny. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And Brake, the tight end's got it. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth-quarter advantage. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Wilson to throw. Dancing to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And avoids the contact by sliding. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop.
Watch twist. Hard shot. Watch
On third down, Coleman. Oh, nice move. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Myers' kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So now Rodgers in the pack. Down by 13. 53 ticks to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Rodgers now on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I can put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Rodgers throwing again. It's completed to Caldwell. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27th. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Throwing now is Rodgers.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. Good bounce back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realized there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Seahawks, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get another home date next week as the Jaguars will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition ain't. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation, don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left on those.